Welcome back again. As some people have noticed from sitting on top of my Alesis, I have picked up a Roland TD-6 module. Got it used off of eBay. What a wonderful place. I've been asked a few questions, which I like better, and which I would buy for a new user. We'll get into the second question a little bit later. So for the most part, they function pretty much the same. Their voices are somewhat similar. The Roland does have a little over 1,000 voices, where the DM5 has a little over 500. Some of the differences, of course, your choking capability that you didn't have on the DM5 is in the TD6. So that's a big bonus right there. Metronome feature, nice to have. And you can either have it as a clicking, or there's a really annoying voice in there that says 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Backing tracks, the Alesis didn't have it. There are backing tracks for the Roland, and there's a whole bunch of them. Nice thing is, which I'll do in a second, once you get your backing track going, if you're really not sure what type of drum track to lay down with it, you can listen to it for a second like I'm about to, and then you can shut the drums off. So we'll go do that. So that's nice to have. Give you a little practice with something maybe you wouldn't normally have done. Sensitivity, the sensitivity adjustments are a lot better on the Roland than they were on the Alesis. Even using the Alesis pads, you can pull off ghost notes a lot better. I'm not sure, I haven't double checked whether the TD-6, even though I do have the manual here, I should read it sometime, whether or not it has tracking functions or anything like that, like you'd get with a PD-125. What else do I have here? Double bass, yes, they both have the capability for double bass. There we go, all happy with that. The hi-hat. On the Alesis, you had the choice of your foot chick, closed, open. That was it. This is still plugged into the Roland, not the Alesis. It's turned off. The TD-6 allows for a variable hi-hat. I don't have a pedal for that yet. That's another piece coming in the future, I imagine. But even with just the Alesis controller, you do get a foot splash. That wasn't a very good demo, but gives you the idea. There is a foot splash on it, even with the hi-hat controller from the Alesis. And other than that, most of the other functionality is pretty much the same. You have a little bit more ambience control with the Roland. Give you an idea here. This is the bass drum. And I'll go in and turn the echoing on, and right now that's set for pretty high level. And in a theater, we'll go to a cave, gym, stadium. I really don't like it on the bass, so I'll turn that back off. And you know, your standard EQ, which is nice to have. What else do I have written here? Yeah. I've also been asked about the new cymbal. It's a Hart Dynamics E-cymbal II. I have the plastic one. Last fall they started making these in, I believe it was last fall, started making these in bronze, I believe. and there's kind of a mix of both in the market right now. I have no idea if they're going to phase the plastic ones out or keep them in. So if you notice that you're looking for an E-cymbal II and it's around 150 Canadian, sorry for any other countries, you'll have to go on Google and look for a monetary converter. It's about 150 Canadian or so. You're going to get the plastic one. If you throw an extra $100 on that, about 250 Canadian, you'll end up getting the metal one. Underneath, yeah, you can kind of see it there. There is a choke strip right along there, as I demonstrated the choking capability before. And when you get it, it does come with this spring. And in order for the choking, you must have a stereo cable. I didn't have one initially because all of the cables for the Alesis were mono, so that was an extra piece I had to pick up. Works really well. I've been playing it for not all that much. I probably got about 2 hours worth of time into it, but I tend to whack the cymbals pretty hard, so. And from the look of it, it hasn't really taken any damage at all. I mean, even what I'm assuming is gold paint on it hasn't chipped. So it seems to be working well. It doesn't come with any sort of stand or mounting arm. It doesn't come with a cable. Those are separate. So I went and picked up it's actually a tom arm. The clamp on it's supposed to mount to your tom or whichever drum you wish, probably one of your floor toms. But it just so happened the Alesis mounting bracket over here, it mounts on there perfectly and puts it right back up where my crash was before, and I moved that crash over here. The only thing I have running through the Alesis right now is a cowbell, because you can never have enough cowbell. So that's about it. So if I ever get around to playing Lowrider, here we go. I got a cowbell going now. Other than that, everything else on here runs through the Alesis, or through the Roland, sorry. So hi-hat, snare, toms, crash 1 and 2. And that's the other thing the Roland has that the Alesis did, but it wasn't very effective at doing changes in sounds due to velocity. I'll demonstrate here. So this would be the bow if I strike the cymbal lightly, and then it goes to the bell if you give it a good one. Eventually I probably will change out all of the cymbals, and I'll end up reusing the Alesis pads for other things such as wood blocks, cowbell, screaming babies, I don't know yet. I also have on order, I was going to pick up a Pintech 14-inch piccolo snare, give that a run, but I got a good deal on eBay again. I spend too much time on there if you ask the wife. I got a good deal on a Roland TD-120, so that's on the way. It just got shipped out yesterday, so that'll be here soon. I'll hook that up, and I'm not going to run, I know the TD-120 can be run off of the rack with mounting arms, but I don't believe the mounting arms actually fit the same arms that the Alesis do. And seeing how I'm using this mounting arm, anyhow, I'll be shifting this one over to a Tom 4 position. I decided it was easier just to go out and pick up a snare stand. So I'll end up putting the 120 in the snare stand, and it'll go here all happy. Other than that, I think that covers all the questions I had. So if you have anything further for me, feel free to post them up. Thanks a lot. See you again.